Hey guys, welcome to the neighborhood. This is the Pixel Street Podcast, episode 166. I am your host for this week, John Hansen, and I am joined by the Animal Crossing mega fan, Holden DePardo. Holden, what's up, baby?
Doing great. Thanks for bringing me to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
An
See,
Animal Crossing neighborhood this time.
yeah, we had to take you off your island and bring you into our neighborhood.
This is what the real world looks like. I forgot what it looked like.
Surprise, this is actually an intervention, Holden. Uh, I would like everyone to come out of the corners now and tell them how you really feel about Holden playing so much Animal Crossing.
Honestly, it probably is too much.
All right,
I
but
put more time into that game than literally any other game by like double. Like it's crazy.
I mean, even I don't consider myself like a huge Animal Crossing fan. New Horizons was my first one I ever played, and I just like being a casual fan. I've probably put like 200 hours into it. So like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
but,
easy to sink that much time into it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. This week, we obviously will be discussing the Animal Crossing New Horizons update, the last free update for the game. Forza Horizon, or I guess it's Forza Horizon 5 reviews are in, and it's looking pretty dang good. Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 have been delayed, and we have a very big, shocking revelation update from the Square Enix president on his thoughts about Marvel's Avengers.
No one could have seen this statement coming. No one.
Yes, absolutely. But let's start with Animal Crossing, because last night, Holden, I will tell you, I was just sitting around. What was I doing? I was playing Fable 2, because I've been playing that lately. We'll talk about that in games we've been playing lately. And I get a message in our Slack board for GamePer, our writing thing. Hey, the Animal Crossing update hit early. What? It wasn't supposed to come out until Friday. These madmen at Nintendo released the free update for Animal Crossing about 2 days early. Just there. So you can download, update, and play all the new content. Well, not all of it. The paid stuff isn't live yet, but the free update is.
If you have a Nintendo account linked to Japan, then you can play the DLC right now.
Oh, really?
But that's not worth doing. Just wait the few hours at
Just
this
might as
point.
well wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start here. I let you know about this. I saw you were super excited in our DMs and everything. How have you found the new update so far, Holden?
Honestly, better than I thought. I already liked what I saw from the Direct, but there was more that they didn't talk about that's in there that is exciting to me, and I think is going to help with the longevity. Because as I was saying, I put like hundreds of hours in Animal Crossing at this point. I have like right now I have one more fish to catch, and then I have all the fish in the museum. And I'm thinking like, well, what's the point of like catching fish again, for example? Like, why would I want to keep catching fish if like I have millions of bells? Like I'm totally fine there. And the crafting recipes, because when you fish and you catch like a dab or something like that, it'll be like, oh, here's you'll have like a eureka moment, and it'll be like, oh, I had this idea for a recipe for a dab, and so you can get recipes now by fishing for certain fish. Oh, I'm like, why is it the dab? It's like little things like that where I'm like, that's going to add to the longevity of the game, because now I'm incentivized to fish, even though I was thinking I might not ever want to fish in the game ever again. It was like, now I want to do it because I want to do the crafting for the cooking. I want to get new recipes. I'm like, okay, that's a really good way to, a really simple but good way to like branch things out. So like that was cool to see. There's an insane amount of new items. There are 9,000 new items.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and there's some really, really cool ones too. There's some really nice like street lamps they've added that have like these like big round bulbs at the top of them. They're really cool looking. So there's a lot of really cool stuff. I'm pretty impressed actually.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting that much, but I like it a lot.
Yeah. So I didn't watch the Animal Crossing Direct. Since I don't even remember the last time I played before yesterday. It was right before Easter. I remember that because I had gotten back into the game, and then when the Easter event started coming up again, I was like, nope, don't want to deal with the eggs. So I stopped playing, and I haven't played it since. But I picked it up again yesterday, had a very long. It took me like an hour to download the update. There were some issues.
Yeah, I remember you
but
saying that.
everyone must have been trying to play it, but I had some issues. But when I finally got in, I was pretty surprised with everything I saw. So I started writing some guides last night for GamePer and going into stuff that I could find on the base level. There was a bunch of stuff to buy from the it's the Nook Stop machine. So
yeah.
there's like a new there's a new license so that you can like set up different wallpaper on a wall. So in a room, not every wall isn't the same exact thing. You can change it up now.
Is it the accent wall? I think is what they call
Accent wall, yes. You can hang things from the ceiling. A huge update to the custom design thing, where you can now access the portal anytime you want. You don't have to go into the Able Sister store to do it. You can just pull up your phone and do it right there. And they added in better search functionality. So for one, you can search by creators. If there's someone out there that you really like and you think they make really good designs and everything, you can add them as a favorite and just search what they've made. You can also just search by name now, which wasn't a thing. You had to like search by the ID number. So now I tested it. You can like go in and I put Zelda, and there was just a whole bunch of Legend of Zelda stuff that popped up. It was really cool, really useful. Nice. I like it a lot. I've never really touched the custom design stuff because I'm not artfully driven at all. I'm not creative. But now that I don't have to go into the Able, because when I play Animal Crossing, I'm usually playing it at night when everything's closed anyway. Yeah. So now that I can just access that whenever, that's such a big boost for me personally. Yeah, I haven't gotten a big chance to like go into different areas of it yet, but there's some really nice stuff in here. I've been pleasantly surprised by how much content that they've put in this free update. There are some things I still wish were there. Crafting in bulk, crafting with resources in your storage would be two huge things.
What was the last one you just said? What about storage?
If you have like resources in your storage, you could just pull it from there and craft instead of having to have it in your pockets.
One thing that's a little bit easier now is you can get the tool shed.
Okay.
And like put it right. You can put it outside anywhere you want, and it alleviates that a little bit.
So you don't have to go inside and grab them.
Yeah, but I agree. Like they needed to be able to just pull from the storage. Like it tells you in the crafting like menu, like, oh, you have a bunch of like this stuff in your storage, and it's like that's useless to me. Like, why are you telling me that?
Yeah, this being the last free update for Animal Crossing, this game will probably not get it. I've really imagined this is going to be like a Super Mario Maker 2 with the slopes thing, where this is going to be like one of the big things that they reveal for the next Animal Crossing game. I just really can't believe that we're in 2021. This game that has crafting in it won't let you craft more than one item at a time. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
It's also very Nintendo.
Yeah. Especially when going to Leaf and like, cause I'll go to Leaf and I'll be like, okay, I want to really like lay out this huge flower pattern, and I need like 150 flowers to do it, and you have to buy them 5 at a time. So it's like, oh my god, I would literally just sit there with like a paper and pen and a tally, and then just keep hitting A and tallying how many times I bought, so I knew like I hit that.
Imagine if that was real life. If like you went to a grocery store and you could only buy like one item at a time.
Yeah, you like have to go into the store, then buy it, go out, put it in your car, go back in.
Yeah. Oh, my pockets are full. I'll be back. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, overall, Animal Crossing update really good. I forgot that the last time I played, I paid off my house loan, and I'm pretty much completely broke on bells. So I have to work them up again. But hey, no more loans for me, so that's good.
Turnip exchange. Have you heard of the turnip exchange?
I have, and I'm not gonna get back into that because that was a dangerous time in my life. But yes, if you are an Animal Crossing fan, definitely jump back in. It's a lot of fun. I didn't realize that there were like, would you say 9,000 new items? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that as like someone found this huge like image repository of all of like the new items in the game, and someone like I think was estimating it's like around 9,000 items. I don't think it's like not like official from Nintendo or anything.
Gotcha.
But
Regardless, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Hopefully, a lot of those are interactable items, because that's been the one thing with Animal Crossing for me, is it's put this furniture down, and now I can't do anything with it. It's just decoration based. Like, I really want...
I wouldn't hold your breath on that.
Probably not, but that's what I love so much about the Mario update, was the pipes that I could jump into and teleport me to another area. That was so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I want more of that, but
again... There is one item that does do things, but I don't know exactly what it does. There's an item in the Nook Miles area called the donation box. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm assuming it's something where you can leave it out and villagers can put donations in there, and then you can use that to like for your bridges and that kind of stuff. I don't know for sure.
Because they aren't going to the, what are they called, gyroid, and they're not going to him
the gyroids?
and paying for it. Yeah.
This guy did a like a, I guess it's not a speed or anything, but like he did like a challenge run for Animal Crossing where he had to build a bridge, but he couldn't invest any of his own bells into it. Only the villagers in the town could. And he would basically just skip ahead one day, check and see the amount, skip ahead one day, check and see the amount. And it took him like 350 something like days before he gave up.
Before he gave up. Like, he didn't even reach it. He gave up. Wow.
He gave up. He's just like, this isn't worth it. Because you also can't like skip 350 days ahead. You had to do each day. Because then it registered each day when you loaded up your game, villagers paying.
Oh, so say I didn't play for 5 days, it wouldn't count those 5 days for the villagers paying?
Exactly.
That's insane.
Because when it's loading your game and it's processing stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on. Forza Horizon 5 is available tomorrow, I believe, for early adopters, and it comes out on Monday, I believe, for everyone. If you have Game Pass, you can play it for free. I'm probably going to wait until then. Actually, it might have came out today, now that I think about it, for early adopters. Regardless, the game is pretty dang good from early reviews at this moment. Looking at OpenCritic, based on 87 critic reviews, it is sitting at a 92. This would put it in line with one of the greatest racing games of all time, Holden. I gotta know real quick. Do you have any interest in Forza Horizon?
I am not a. I know this is the more of the arcadey racer type, which I'm more into. But I've always
it is, but it's more simulation than your.
Yeah, I've always associated Forza with simulation, and I'm not a good driver to begin with. Let alone high-speed races where I actually have to brake.
yeah. Like if you're giving me a racing game, I don't want to brake. Don't do that.
Exactly. I want to drift around corners and throw green shells at people.
Right? Yeah.
That's racing.
Forza Horizon, I like them, and I totally acknowledge how great they are and how beautiful they are. Let me just say that. Probably the most beautiful game series I can think of. I'm with you. I'm not much of a simulation racing fan. I prefer the arcadey stuff. And people are like, oh, well, Forza Horizon is a little more simulation. Yeah, but there's still a lot of that simulation stuff in there, which it's just not fun to me. I'll play it because I have Game Pass, and I know Joel is already going to be playing it. So we're going to hear about that probably next week on the podcast from him. But I just don't see myself getting into it no matter how good of scores this get. For example, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. Let's see, PC Gamer gave it 9 out of 10. It's just a lot of 9s and 10s pretty much across the board. I've got an 8.5 on here. That is the lowest score I've seen so far. So I'm happy. I love Xbox, and I'm so happy to see them have successes with the Forza Horizon series, but seeing this probably just gives me more excitement for Fable when Playground Games makes that, because that's a series I care about.
It's really funny. I know it's the same studio, but it's just like a funny statement because, like, man, that racing game was so good. I can't wait for their action RPG.
I'm just
the same studio. I get what you're saying, which is funny because they're such different games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just like really thinking of like graphically
how beautiful that will be. Though. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying though. Like they're obviously incredibly talented developers. Like I would be excited for their next thing too.
I'm very excited to see them do something different. How about that? Let's go with that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's been successful for like Gorilla. They did great success with that. So like these guys, I think you know Benji on Benji Sales on Twitter.
I don't know. No.
He does like just analysis of game industry stuff, and he was saying that this studio has made 3 games in a row that are 90 plus on Metacritic. That's like a crazy track record.
Yeah.
It's a crazy track record. And
the thing I always hear about Forza Horizon is how can they get any better? And then when a new one comes out, they're like, somehow they did it. It's insane.
And on top of that too, Gran Turismo's always been like the top of the line, like well not always, not recently, but like it's been considered one of the best racers, but they're so long between launches. And these guys release, I mean, it's not the same studio every time, but like every year, for the most part, there's a new Forza game. I think there's like a gap the past 2 years, but before that, it was like every year.
Well,
so
what they do, it's kind of a Call of Duty situation.
Yeah, they alternate. Yeah.
They alternate. The Forza Motorsport series is made by Turn 10, and then the Horizon series is made by Playground. And it's just so insane to me to see. So at first, Horizon was just a spin-off series, and it's just completely overtaken Motorsport. I would say that Horizon is the more iconic racing series over Motorsport right now. The thing with Motorsport is that they're kind of rebooting it, and they're doing a game as a service thing, which it still boggles my mind how they announced that game first, but Horizon 5 was just announced this year and released before the new Forza Motorsport.
Who could have predicted that? Yeah.
Joel will not shut up about this because at E3, I'm like, he said, oh, Forza Horizon 5. I'm like, oh, but they've got the Forza Motorsport. There's no way. And now he won't shut up about it. He keeps bringing it back. I predicted this and everything. He's a whatever.
Hey, that's a good call out, though.
No, a great call out.
Pre E3, that was a ballsy ass prediction.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
he definitely called it. Yeah. Regardless, racing fans they're eating pretty well with Forza Horizon 5. When is the new Gran Turismo coming out? I
don't think they've given a release date, but I feel like it's safe to assume it's coming out next year.
Yeah.
Considering how frequently they release them in that kind of gap they had for like 2 years, I think.
Do they do like a console generation? Because I feel
they do them like it's like every other year. That's why I'm so impressed.
Really?
With this series. Yeah, it's like Motorsports and then
No, I'm talking about Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo.
Oh, Gran Turismo. Well, yeah. So yeah, again, like that's kind of why I'm so impressed because Gran Turismo takes like 6 years to develop each game. And these guys seem to be outclassing Gran Turismo with like 3 year development times. It's like half the development time, and this is has much more, I think, a higher reputation in the industry right now than Gran Turismo.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, moving on. Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 have been delayed until most likely 2023. This just kind of came out of nowhere on Tuesday, I believe, and Mikey Ibarra, the new solo head of Blizzard, since Jen O'Neill announced the same day that she was leaving for it was a non-profit organization to help women get into gaming. Awesome stuff. It sounds like she didn't leave because of any problems. It just sounded, from her quote, or from what she wrote to employees, it really sounded like this was just something she wanted to do. Great luck to her and everything. But Mikey Barra, one of the former big heads at Xbox, is now the lead of Blizzard. And he came out and said that the the Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 delays are mostly because of leader changes. Anyone who pays attention to Overwatch knows that Jeff Kaplan left earlier this year. I wrote a piece about this earlier this week that it's more likely probably to do with Chaco Sunny, the executive producer, leaving last month, or actually I should say September now, 2 months ago. After Kaplan left, Sunny was supposed to be like an integral piece into the future of Overwatch. Now that he's gone, it looks like that team has to do a little bit of reshuffling. And plus, there's a whole huge lawsuit going on at Activision Blizzard if you've been living under a rock for the last 6 months.
What happened?
Right?
What happened? I hadn't heard about this.
I really think Blizzard is just trying to go into they're trying to go as dark as possible at the moment. They even canceled BlizzCon, which is insane to me. Like the Blitzchung controversy and all the other controversies they've had over the year, they still had that, but this lawsuit is just so huge and so monumental to them that they're like, nope, shut it all down, delay our games. You're not going to hear from. I bet you anything, we're not going to hear anything from them until at least next summer. Like
I think
they're just gonna go silent, and they're just gonna hope that people forget this, and they're gonna try. They've got a bunch of new people there, a bunch of really good people. Mike Ibarra, like I mentioned, very good person, and I'm excited to see how he handles Blizzard going forward. But they're just gonna go silent. I bet they're gonna pop up out of nowhere sometime next year, and they'll be like, "Hey, we're back. This is what we've been working on. This is how we've improved our employee relationship. This is how our managers are handling issues and everything." Hopefully we will see a much improved Activision Blizzard next year. Sorry for taking up so much time here, but Holden, what do you think of this Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 delay?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you said. And I think actually a good move for them. Like you're kind of saying, like that distance. I think that distance is a good idea for them because they want some space between people thinking about this lawsuit and Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. Obviously, those are really big franchises. They can't flop those launches. They need to be rock solid. So I think it helps with that. And the other side of that coin too, like you were mentioning the whole Blitzchung and the lawsuit, and it seems like they're taking the lawsuit more seriously. Blitzchung, I think they just kind of like brushed it off their shoulder. Wow, I couldn't speak there.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have to like change anything. But this, it's even if like a particular leader doesn't get fired because they weren't a problem or something like that, they still have to reshuffle and reassess like those teams and the leadership around and everything. They have got a lot of work to do. Just stuff in the lawsuit aside, when you're shuffling a huge corporation like that, you gotta give some breathing room for these projects. Otherwise, they're gonna get lost in communication problems because one leader is here one day and then they're not there because they're smoothing the teams around. It would be a mess. So I think this is a good move from them logistically and PR wise.
Yeah. Speaking as a guy who loves Overwatch, I'm disappointed. I think because since they announced Overwatch 2, Overwatch 1 has gotten minimal updates. We get the same events every season. You have your Summer Games, Halloween, Christmas, Lunar New Year, the Archives event, and Anniversary. They're the same thing every time with just new skins added into the game. And when they announced Overwatch 2, they kind of sold it as, okay, this is a sequel, but it's also kind of an expansion. They haven't done a good job of selling it to people. Why do I need to pay $60 for the single player content when all the PvP content is going to come back to Overwatch 1? Why
is the PvE coming to Overwatch 1 as
PvE
well?
Is the paid stuff. So that's your single.
Okay, that is like the single player.
That's the campaign, the hero missions. It's a lot of stuff that they're putting in there. But when you tell people that have been playing this game for just the PvP, oh, we're adding in story stuff. They're like, who cares? Like,
especially when there was a whole thing when they released Overwatch, we're like, we'll never have to release Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
We'll never have to do that. And it's like, oh, okay,
yeah.
I guess.
I think Blizzard has completely failed when it comes to selling this game and generating hype for it. And now that by the time that this comes out in probably 2023, we'll be more than 3 years away from when they announced Overwatch 2 and the last time they got that Overwatch 1 got a new hero and a new map. Like there's just been nothing there. They've added in deathmatch maps, which are cool. They're a fun arcade mode, but people aren't playing for deathmatch. They are playing for the core experience of quick play, competitive, and there's so many areas that they can improve it. I don't want to go too further into this because I put up a video on Pixel Street Videos if you want to check it out, going into the Overwatch situation. I also wrote about this on GamePer, so there's a couple areas you can go to see my thoughts on this. I'm just very disappointed with how they've handled it. As for Diablo 4, to take out this lawsuit and everything, I still didn't think it was coming out in 2022 because it's Blizzard, and this was probably going to get delayed.
What have they actually shown of that game as well? Like, not a whole lot.
Yeah, I believe they showed a little bit of it. I don't know. I still need to play Diablo 2. What's it called?
Resurrected.
Resurrected, that's it.
Yeah.
I need to play that. But regardless, everything's up in the air when it comes to Activision Blizzard right now. Don't expect much going forward for at least the next year, I would say.
Yeah. Silver lining, at least they have more time to fix these communication problems.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will, because there's been a lot of problems with Blizzard in the past. It's like, hey, can you do this? And then they just don't. It's a very Nintendo-like problem with them lately. All right.
They would never miscommunicate something.
Right. Our final main topic, the Square Enix president has said that Marvel's Avengers was disappointing. Insert shock noise here. All right, so I didn't write down his name, but he has said that Crystal Dynamics was not a good fit for a game as a service model, and will adapt and work towards having development teams better suited for them in the future. Says games as a service will grow in importance for Square Enix going forward. These were just two interesting things I pulled out of what he said. There was a Square Enix earnings call, and first of all, no surprise, Marvel's Avengers was a disappointment. It was a disappointment for everyone. I still enjoyed the single player mode, but once I beat that campaign and got into the multiplayer actual games as a service stuff, that game falls hard. It's repetitive, and it's not everything I wanted it to be. I'm such a huge Marvel fan right now with the MCU that I was expecting this game to be so much better than it was, and it's just had problem after problem. But looking at it, it makes sense why this failed. As he says, Crystal Dynamics, this team that's known for third-person action-adventure games with Tomb Raider, is not the right team to make a Destiny-like multiplayer game. It just doesn't fit for them. So, I know Joel is all worried about Perfect Dark, since the initiative is bringing Crystal Dynamics in to work with them on that, but this is where me and him differ, because I'm like, no, that is a great move, because they're so good at that type of game, the single-player, narrative-focused game. They can't do the multiplayer stuff. That's where you start to get a little worried, I would say. As for how Square Enix is going to be adapting and putting teams towards these games as a service in the future, I don't know how they're going to handle this at the moment. The one that comes to mind immediately is the one that came out earlier this year, and I'm blanking on it. Outriders? Is it Outriders?
Yep.
That's the one that comes to my mind, but that one kind of just came and died, I feel like. They kind of sold it as a games as a service, and then I believe they didn't really put out much to update it as time went on. I'm not sure. I haven't played it since launch day, so
I never even touched Outriders. I know a little bit about it, but yeah, I remember. I think it had some troubles at launch. I don't know if it broke even or not. Like, they don't know how well it did. Like, it's very ambiguous. Yeah, with this is interesting to me because I personally was not surprised when Marvel's Avengers was really bad. That was, I don't know, I was very skeptical of the game from the moment that they showed the actors only and no gameplay. So, or like a tiny portion of gameplay that was totally meaningless. Anyway, so I wasn't super surprised by that, but I am surprised how quiet they've been about this. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, they're gonna drop this. Like, it's been a year now, and they haven't said anything. Like the No Man's Sky situation, for example. Within 6 months, they had an update that kind of started the, bringing in goodwill, and they started to bring back that audience within 6 months. So that was good for them. I don't know, like, if they're bringing a development team now, how long is it going to be before this gets better? Because clearly they have plans. They're not going to bring the development team and then drop it next year. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to finish what they want to do with it and then release it. I would imagine, unless it's like an Anthem Next situation where they try to fix it and they just drop it.
I think they're just so gung-ho on just doing what they've already been doing. I think they just want to let it run its course. I would be shocked if Crystal Dynamics, if their next project that isn't Perfect Dark, because they're helping with that, their next solo project, I would be shocked if it's a games as a service model. I think this has been such a monumental black eye to them that whatever they do next is just going to be a single player game again. And they may bring back Tomb Raider, they may do whatever, because they're still announcing updates and everything. They just had their latest controversy was that they were selling experience boost, even though they said none of the microtransaction stuff would be would affect gameplay. So everyone got up in arms about it, and they had to walk it back already. But I saw that they just announced the Spider-Man DLC for PlayStation is like the end of this month, which was another controversy. They're still announcing updates and stuff, but they're not really announcing anything to make the game better. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're just trying to let it run its course. They're just gonna try and do what they can with what they already have.
Yeah. Shout out to Chad here from Respawn Aim Fire, another video game podcast. But
Never
we're on
heard of
Pixel
them.
Street. So it's not the best podcast. This is the best video game podcast.
No, this is the best video game podcast. Yeah.
But Respawn Fire is one that is also good.
No.
Chad, who is the host there, I think he's a really good idea of how they could fix this.
Okay.
Is basically lower the barrier to entry. Make it so that there's no barrier to entry to get in. Make it free to play. I know they'll be breaking a promise of what they had said, like $60, you have everything. But they need to make it free to play and then have like the battle pass options or like buy new characters, that kind of stuff, and monetize that way. But I think this is where Chad's spot on. Anyone who bought the $60 game already just gets that stuff for free, and the new players will have the free to play model.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I don't see him doing it. That's like I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I will say that they put it on Game Pass, which is a great get. I'm sure that boosted the player numbers at least a little bit. So the subscription stuff might help them. I haven't really seen much talk about Avengers since it came to Game Pass, so I don't know. I feel like anyone who had interest in it already played it, but hey, it's free on Game Pass. Give it a try. I think a free-to-play model would be best for it. I also think it's a little too late for that now, though. Because
absolutely.
Let's say this has been such a big disappointment for them that... Have they announced anything past the Spider-Man thing? Like, let's say the Spider-Man thing is the last significant update.
I think that they have announced that they have more things after Spider-Man, but they haven't said what they are, I think.
So let's go into this thinking that 2022 is the last year for significant updates for Marvel's Avengers. Not confirmed or anything. I'm just laying out a scenario here. Do you really care if they make it free to play then? I don't know. I think it's just run its course, let it go, let it die on its own.
My assumption is that if they're bringing in another development team to work on the multiplayer aspect of it,
are they?
I mean, isn't that what they said? That we're Crystal Dynamics is not a good fit for game of service models.
No. He was saying going forward. He was saying
that they will work on different games that are better suited for them. Gotcha. Okay, I misread that. And okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So he was saying like going forward, if there's a game that is a service model, Crystal Dynamics not really made for that. We would have someone like the Outriders guys work on that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just please don't put it in the Kingdom Hearts, please. don't do that to my boy Sora. No, in all honesty, I'm interested to see how Square Enix handles this going forward, because the president does kind of say, he's like, this is going to be a big thing going forward. We have to adapt, though, and we have to make better products, which is true, because look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Not a game as a service, and it's done really dang well. I haven't played it yet, but
it's even reviewing well too.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. So,
which I was surprised by that. I didn't think that was going to review well either. But
me too. I thought it would be.
I was wrong.
I thought it would be like a mid-tier thing.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking that too. Like it'll be good for like a double A quality kind of game, but it's not going to be this like
Yeah.
But double A is good sometimes, and it hit that note well
for sure. Yeah. I like Square Enix. Hopefully they can turn things. Well, they don't need to turn things around. They're still a good developer and publisher. It's just with the games as a service thing, I think they can get things on the right track here. All right.
Developers stumble sometimes.
Yep. All right, let's get into some quick news. First up, On the docket, Super Mario 64 on the Mario 3D All-Stars has got an update, so N64 controllers that you bought from the website, those wireless ones, will work on it. Mine is still in transit. I can't wait to play with this terrible three-prong controller again. Does this do anything for you? I mean, it's this is for me, honestly, and probably no one else, because like I said, the N64 controller is not good, but so much nostalgia around that little piece of plastic.
I'm like mixed on it. So I have one. I got one. And I've always hated the N64 controller because I think it's the most awkward, bizarre controller. It's like choose which prong you want to use, and you lose access to certain buttons, and you can't use them at all.
When you make a controller that no matter how you hold it, there's going to be some buttons you can't press, you've really failed with how you've designed that controller.
That's like ergonomics 101 on a controller is hands in a position, buttons accessible. Like that is
comfortable,
yeah. So it's awkward in that sense, but I do think that, especially in Mario 64, it controls better on an N64 controller because the joystick is the joystick they designed to work with that game. So I played with the Switch controller, or the Switch Pro controller first, and it felt weird because I had a greater range of movement in the joystick, but not with Mario.
Yep.
So it was this weird like disconnect where it's like, I feel like I moved my joystick enough in a certain direction, but I wasn't. But with the N64 controller, it hits those marks that I think the joystick's like an 8 or 12 point correction. It's 8, yeah. So like Mario is tailored for that. It works better to use a controller for sure.
Yep. It's almost like Super Mario 64 could have really used a remake in the Mario Odyssey engine, huh, Nintendo?
Yeah.
Like I was saying for years before they announced Mario 3D All-Stars. We better be getting Mario Odyssey 2, man. Next up,
we're gonna get like Mario Sunshine 2 or something.
Oh
like
no!
That
Oh no! Please no.
I wouldn't be bummed, but a lot of people would be.
I used to be an apologist for that game. Not anymore.
Whoa.
Not after the 3D All-Stars. I went back to that and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is bad.
There are some problems with it. Yeah. It's not balanced in certain parts pretty severely.
Yeah. Next up, Masahiro Sakurai says he can't say that Smash Ultimate is his last Smash Brothers game, but he also can't see a way that the series moves forward without him. A lot of talk about this since Sora released. Is this the last Smash Ultimate? Will Sakurai retire? What is the future of this? When me and Joel talked about this on the podcast, it was a lot of, there's going to be another Smash at some point, with or without him. It's too lucrative of a series. And I still stand by that. It will be very weird seeing it without him if he ends up not coming back. But the guy has more than earned a retirement if that's what he wants. He's earned whatever he wants to do. Nintendo, pay him for like a 3-year vacation. I don't care. Whatever he wants to do, just give it to him.
He says this after every Smash game, doesn't he? Like, well, just like Kojima, like after every Metal Gear game, he's like, "All right, that was the last one," and then he announces a new one a few years later.
Yeah. With Sakurai, I don't believe he ever says it's the last one. He does say, I was so focused on the one that we made that I had no time to focus on the next one." And it's usually when the next console is being developed when Nintendo comes to him. So, for example, the GameCube, they came to him right away and they're like, "Hey," or actually no, that one Sakurai was like, I already know I'm gonna make another Smash, so he made Melee, and he was like working on it before the GameCube dev kit was even out to him. So he was just like working on that so long already. With Brawl, it was Iwata kind of bribed him. He was like, "Make a new Smash Brothers, or we're just gonna re-release Melee with online." Wii U again was just, "Hey, new consoles coming out, make this." And then Ultimate was kind of Sakurai's dedication and promise to the memory of Iwata, and that's why it was as granted as it is. But where do you go from here? Like, that's such a big question. Obviously, it's going to be years before we see anything on this, but it's going to be a question for a while.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot longer than we think, because here's my, if I were Nintendo and I'm working with Sakurai's probably burnt out. I mean, how hard has that guy been working on this game to begin with, and then all the fighter packs? How many times does Nintendo come to him and say, "Hey, can you just do one other fighter pack,
Right.
for us, please? Like, can you please do that?"
Yeah.
It's that guy must have been like worked to death, and he's did a great job. I'm not a big Smash fan, but like, it seems like he did a really good job from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like people really like Ultimate. Here's what I think they're gonna do. I think for the Switch 2, or whatever it is, they're gonna Mario Kart 8 Deluxe this thing, and they're gonna have Ultimate again, because it's so huge. It has everything in it. I don't think anyone would really be disappointed if that happened.
Yeah.
It certainly didn't hurt Super Mario or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And then on like whatever the next Switch is, why not launch with a Smash game?
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
You have that extra time.
With the Switch 2, I really would be surprised if they make it not backwards compatible. So I'm not even sure that they would re-release it on that. I think they would just be like, oh, hey, no, you can play it on here.
I saw a rumor, and I hope to God this is not true, that the Switch 2 is going to be Switch 2. It's going to be the same form factor and everything, and it will be Switch branding, but it will not be backwards compatible, which I'm like, I hope that's not true.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense, yeah.
Yeah. No.
It makes sense that Switch is not backwards compatible with 3DS, because they're different brands. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But if you go to a Switch 2, it's the whole DS thing. The whole line of DSs can play the games behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully that's not true. Next up, Take-Two had their
Mario Odyssey engine version of 64. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. Next up, Take-Two had their earnings call as well this week, and quite a bit of news came out of that. Probably the biggest thing is that Take-Two has canceled a game codenamed Volt. This was being made by the Mafia 3 developers, and canceling it cost them $53 million. Supposedly, Volt was a third-person action game similar to Destiny. When they say similar to Destiny, that makes me think games as a service and multiplayer. But that apparently things just were not going right there. I haven't played anything by these devs. I haven't played Mafia 3, so don't know what to think of this.
This just hit me, but do you think that they saw what happened with Avengers and were like, hey, the Mafia 3 team does not usually make games as service games. This might not go that well, and then we'll lose a lot more than $53 million.
From what I read up on this, there was a lot of stuff that they were like, this isn't where we want it to be. There was also stuff that they were like, these assets, we can't even reuse these. They just got rid of everything with it. They're not even reusing it for future stuff, apparently. So, yeah, apparently it was just in a really bad space. Sticking on the Take-Two train, Take-Two expects to release 60 games between April 2022 and March 2024. This is a lot of their core stuff. So you got your NBA, Borderlands, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption. They mentioned within this list that there's going to be 9 remasters, about 20 mobile titles,
and 17 Grand Theft Auto 5 releases.
Yes, Grand Theft Auto 5 again, and again, and again.
Special edition upgrade, the Amazon Alexa edition.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if Red Dead Redemption eventually gets a remaster, the first one.
Mm-hmm. I would like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, they've been saying this for a while, that they have a lot of stuff on the way. Obviously, pandemic affected them as much as anyone else, so everything's just kind of been pushed back. Finishing up the Take-Two stuff, Marvel's Midnight Suns has been delayed to the second half of 2022. This is the game made by, I think they're pronounced Firaxis. These are the XCOM developers, and it's a lot like an XCOM game, but with Marvel characters. Really cool idea for a story and everything, but this gameplay does not interest me at all. But
100% agree. Yeah.
And
a lot of people excited about it. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, same. Finishing up our quick news, a Donkey Kong movie is on the way after the Super Mario movie, which will have Seth Rogen voicing the character. And I mean, I had that why is this happening moment when they revealed the voice actors and everything. Yeah. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, now that I think about it more, I don't hate it. I really need to hear how that character is written and how he performs it, though. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, I still hate it, but I know that I could very well change my mind when I see the footage.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's hard to know what to expect of the Donkey Kong movie if you don't even know what the Super Mario movie
Right.
is gonna be. Yeah, and I don't know. I still think Seth Rogen's a very odd choice for that, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Someone it's not even a rumor, just someone just wants this. I saw this. It was like, I think on Reddit, someone made this like timeline of the NCU, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, where they're gonna work up to Super Smash Bros. And they're gonna like have a Mario movie, a Donkey Kong movie, a Kirby movie, and then like
and then
it's all
Smash.
And then Smash Bros. Yeah, that actually would be kind of awesome.
It would be.
Yeah.
I also think they would mess it up somehow.
Yeah, done well, it would be awesome.
Yeah,
but most likely, not great.
Okay, it's time to get to our game of the week. So this week we're gonna play Pick 10 again. This time, today, as we are recording, the Nintendo Switch sales report has been updated. We have a new list of top 10 most sold games on the Nintendo Switch. Holden, I need you to guess what games are on that list. I'll tell you how many they sold and where at on the list they are placed. So just guess the games. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to try to do this in order.
All right.
I think I can. I don't think I'm going to get all of them, but I think I can do a pretty good job.
All right, let's start at the top. Number 1. Yep. What is it?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yep, easy. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 1. It has sold 38.74 million copies. A little add-on to that, it has now outsold Mario Kart Wii for the highest-selling racing game of all time. This is why we don't have Mario Kart 9. Stop buying it, people! I want Mario Kart 9!
No, but what if it's a Switch 2 launch title? Wouldn't that be the best launch title ever?
No, Breath of the Wild is. Get out of here. Number 2, Holden.
I know this is a tough one. I've never heard of this game, but I think it's Animal Crossing: New Horizons. I think.
Yeah, the small game it has sold 34.85 million copies. That is insane considering it came out a year and a half ago. That is
a year and a half ago,
bonkers.
And it's I think it's probably going to double the total sales of all past Animal Crossing mainline games.
I mean, Animal Crossing wasn't a massive seller before, was it? It might already have.
New Leaf, it's already surpassed all of them. New Leaf was 12 million, I think.
Okay.
And then I think Wild World was 11 million.
Oh, okay.
But like the GameCube version didn't sell super well. The Wii version didn't sell super well. Obviously, no Wii U version. I mean, let's say super well compared to
there's the board game one.
Yeah, I'm talking mainline games. Yeah, I'm not talking all that.
The board game one. The mainline Animal Crossing game on Wii U. I don't remember what it's
called. Oh, Amiibo Festival.
Amiibo Festival. Yeah, it was made by IndieCube, the Mario Party developers.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't even want to play
it. No one did. Yeah, if I didn't say 34.85 million copies, Animal Crossing has been a bona fide success any way you look at it. Very exciting for the future of that franchise. Holden, number 3.
Okay, this one's getting a little bit tougher. I know what's like in the top 5, but I think I'm going to mess up the order here. It is either...
Don't give me an either. Give me just a solid one, and I'll tell you if it is 3 or not.
Pokemon Sword Shield.
No, Pokemon Sword and Shield is number 5 at 22.64 million. I don't remember quite, but I want to say that is the highest selling Pokemon game ever.
That was 26.4 million, you said?
22.64, yeah.
Okay, 22. Okay, cool. I know what 3 or 4 is then.
All right. Go ahead and give me another guess then.
Breath of the Wild. I think it's like 24 million or something like that.
Breath of the Wild is number 4 at 24.13 million. Oh, it's still so good, man. I went back to it earlier this year. Worst thing ever if I wanted to play Skyward Sword. And then I started playing Skyward Sword, and then Ocarina of Time came out. And now I don't want to play Skyward Sword again.
You should just just don't play Skyward Sword. It's not worth it.
I have to because Zelda's my favorite franchise and I've never beaten Skyward Sword, but it's not good.
Oh, but I was the same way. I never finished it. Switch was the first time I beat that game. Excuse me. I regret it so much. I regretted
playing it with Joy-Cons because of the drift. It's awful. Oh.
Where are you in the game?
I'm in the first temple right now.
Oh, okay. So if you already hate it, just wait. Just
wait. I can't wait.
It is the most repetitive, awful 3D Zelda game. Oh, I don't even think it's good. Like at this point, I don't even think it's a good game. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
Yep.
I know what number 3 is then.
All right, hit me.
Pokemon is Super Smash Bros.
Yep, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, 25.71 million copies sold. I do not have the sales information on other Smash games, but that's got to be up there with the best selling ever.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
If anything, I would guess that Brawl is the only one I would guess.
Oh yeah, Brawl's probably the best selling. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right.
Okay,
because there's no way that that Melee sold more when there was probably what was GameCube? It was like 25 million in that range.
Yeah.
So there's no way they had an attach rate close to 100%.
Let's put it this way: Smash Bros. Ultimate is close to outselling the GameCube. So yeah.
Okay. So
all right,
I have a rough idea of these next 5 games, but I don't know where they are, so I'm just gonna spit them out.
Go for it.
Splatoon 2 is on there.
Splatoon 2 is number 9 at 12.68 million copies. Very good for Splatoon, I would say.
It is, yeah. I love that franchise. I really am glad it's doing well.
2 was the first one I played because I never had a Wii U. I'm very looking forward to 3. I really hope that the multiplayer stuff has been improved.
Yeah, the one thing I want, don't start off the game with those 2 little girls telling me about all the maps.
Pearl and
Marina? I can look at the menu and find out for myself.
Marina's my girl. But I'm with you. Don't start the game with that every time.
It's 1,000 times worse than Isabelle in Animal Crossing.
Isabelle in Animal Crossing is fine.
It's like 10 seconds and you're done with her. It's not a big deal.
And you're talking to Isabelle, one of the best Nintendo characters ever. So
yeah.
All right, give me another guess.
Okay, Super Mario Odyssey's on there, but it's not as high as you would think. It's actually it's like 10, isn't it? It's like
no, it is number 6.
It is number 6. Oh, okay.
At 21.95 million copies sold.
Wow, all right.
No idea where this sits on the Super Mario level. I know it's not close to the top because you've got New Super Mario Brothers DS, New Super Mario Brothers Wii, Super Mario Brothers 1.
There are many Mario games that have gone over 30 million.
Yeah,
especially because the Wii. The Wii also had some really good Mario games. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Galaxy 1 and 2. Yeah, those they did really, really well. Yeah. And also, I think this is one of the first times that Zelda outsold Mario on the Nintendo console, which is like as a Zelda fan over Mario, very happy about that.
Absolutely, I'm right there with you. So excited for Zelda. Even though it didn't really need it, it's still going to be successful regardless. It's just really cool because Mario is the name, the video game name, not just Nintendo, the video game name. So seeing Zelda, which has always been one of the S-tier things for Nintendo, it's always been second fiddle to Mario. Seeing it take over Mario is really cool, especially considering they both came out the same year.
Yeah, I don't want to go too deep in this because I think this could go into a long discussion. But like, I was looking at the top selling games on like each of these consoles like last week or something like that, from like DS up till Switch, because Nintendo posts on their site, and like the top 10 list on Switch is like distinctly different than all the other past consoles. It's actually really interesting.
It's really exciting. I would say I love it that it's changed up so much. All right, give me another guess here.
Okay, Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu have to be on there.
Yep, they are number 8 at 13.83 million copies sold. Again, I don't know where that sits on the Pokemon scale, but that's actually pretty low, I would say.
Was it 13? It's low, yeah, that's low. Okay, so I have 2 left, right?
Yep, number 10 and number 7.
Wii Sports, no, I'm just kidding. Ring Fit Adventure.
Yes, that is the biggest surprise to me on here. Number 10 is Ring Fit Adventure at 12.21 million copies sold. That that's insane for that game. A workout
Yeah.
game. Like
Yeah, it's
that's
one of those things where I saw that when I was looking at the stuff last week, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really surprising. You never would have guessed. And then I'm like, oh yeah, but it was like sold out all over the place for so long. It was
especially when
crazy.
the pandemic started.
Yeah, yeah. But Animal Crossing and Ring Fit Adventure definitely got that COVID bump.
Hmm.
It got its booster shot. Um, all right, so I got one more left.
Yep, number 7.
Okay, so
I
this sold better than Splatoon 2, but not as good as Mario Odyssey.
yeah,
Okay.
you'll be like, okay, I can see why when you find out what it is.
Super Mario Party.
That is right. Super Mario Party is the number 7 best-selling Nintendo Switch game at 16.48 million copies sold.
And
Pretty
no
dang good for a
DLC.
Mario Party.
It is, yeah, but I still can't believe they didn't add DLC to that game instead of doing Superstars. Although it seems like that was the better move in the long run.
The more I think about it, the more it makes sense to me because with Super Mario Party you could only play with one Joy-Con, and then they released the Switch Lite, so
Yeah.
you couldn't play it unless you connected another Joy-Con to your Switch Lite, which who would want to do that? Um,
Yeah, that'd be really weird.
with Superstars, you can play with your Pro controller and any configuration of controllers. So I'm really holding out hope that Superstars can get some DLC in the future.
Yeah.
But good job,
Mario Party
Holden.
seems. No, thank you.
You guessed all 10.
Mario Party seems like a franchise that's just so easy to add DLC for. Just
Yep.
make a new board and throw it in the game. It doesn't even have to like gel with the other boards necessarily.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it could just be its own thing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's end things off here with talking about what we've been playing lately. So I'll start things off here because we were just talking about it. Mario Party Superstars. If you want to check out our review for the game, I just put it up. It went up this morning, I believe. My review for Mario Party Superstars, that is, on Pixel Street Videos. I think this is the best the series has been since the GameCube era. It's really damn good. Of course, a big part of this is hitting my nostalgia bone because it's all 5 boards are from the N64 games, and that's just I could go on and on about how much I love the Nintendo 64. But I want to throw it to you, Holden, because I convinced you to buy it. How do you feel about Mario Party Superstars?
I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to because I've never been a big Mario Party fan. I was telling you this before we started recording, but it's like it's not that I hated Mario Party. It's just I'd play at a friend's house and I'd be like, all right, like whatever. It just didn't like speak to me necessarily. I don't know what it is about this one, but I like it a lot. I don't know if it's just like I'm in a
Real
different
quick,
place.
have you ever played the original games?
No,
Okay.
no, I've not. The only one I played was one of the GameCube ones. I
Okay.
do not know which one it was because there's like what 3 of them on GameCube.
There were
And
4, 5, 6, and 7. There was 4.
4, holy crap. And then I played Super Mario Party at like a work event once.
Mm-hmm.
And I was distracted with other things, so I never had like a great experience with it necessarily. I never had like the optimal time to like try it out, but it never like appealed to me. But it's a lot of fun. It is, and again, I was kind of telling you this before we recorded too. It's like one thing I didn't like about it in the past was how chaotic it is. Like I could be in first place winning the game, and by the end of it, I don't because like they have the bonus stars, that kind of stuff. But Mario Kart is that like is chaos, anything can happen. And that's kind of what this is doing too. It's like chaos, anything can happen, but in a board game.
Mm-hmm.
And the mini games are fun. I like the mini games. It's a very enjoyable game. I have not done multiplayer with it though. I've only played with the CPU, which I think actually is a good sign for the game that I had a good time playing against the AI in a board game. There were a few times where they did really stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mario was right next to a star and decided to use his golden pipe to warp to the star, like things like that, where it's like no player would actually do that.
Yeah,
I don't know why you did that.
the AI is pretty dumb, but they can fix that with an update.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt the enjoyment of the game by any means.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find that they are dumb in the mini games. I find that when you're playing the mini games, it's still, it's still a good experience.
Yeah, no,
but I'm sure with people it'd be way better.
I was just about to say that. the true magic of a Mario Party game is when you can play a game with all 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely play it with you. I also want to find 2 other people to join us because I think that
100%.
is where the true magic will be. When you can play with friends and people you enjoy playing games with, that is where Mario Party excels. Kind of like Mario Kart when we would all play together with a bunch of people for the ref thing. It's just so much more fun when you have people that you can interact with. And Mario Party has even more ways to screw other people over, and that's the true magic. I love that chaos, baby. Oh, it's so good. If
It was
you
always so satisfying getting on the same space as someone in the last 5 turns so you
and
get to
dueling
duel
them,
and then just bet all of your money.
oh yeah,
Put it all on the line. Yeah.
it when I play with people, I don't even care about winning. I just want to screw them over. It's so much fun.
John goes in like, I am the one who knocks.
Yeah. It's I love Mario Party so much. If you grew up in the 90s and played the N64 Mario Parties, this is a must buy. If you haven't, this is still a really damn good buy. If you this is one of the best party games on the Switch. It's right up there with Mario Kart. If you want, or if you're looking for a multiplayer game to play with some family or friends, definitely give this a look. I would say over Super Mario Party. I enjoyed Super Mario Party. It's good for Indie Cube, but Mario Party Superstars is just the series when it was at its best, in all honesty. Well, maybe
and also just
the
multiple
game,
controller types to use is also
yeah, so good.
It's like, yeah.
Yep. All right, Holden, what else have you been playing?
Pokemon Sword. I don't have a lot to say about it, but I'm just really excited for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Well, specifically, I'm getting Brilliant Diamond.
Real quick, are you replaying it or what's going on here?
Replaying, yeah. I just started from scratch. Got Grookey this time because I had Score Bunny. They had Score Bunny.
Because Score Bunny is the correct choice.
I always do a fire starter my first time playing a Pokemon game because usually they don't have as many fire Pokemon in the world.
Yeah.
So I find that it's easier to do it that way. But yeah, I actually kind of like it a little bit more now that I'm playing it again. I remember when I finished it last time, I was kind of I liked it, and then I thought more about it, and I didn't like it. But I'm enjoying it playing it again. But I feel like a lot of that is just I'm excited for Diamond and Pearl, and I have that I want to play a Pokemon game kind of feel right now. But I stopped playing it because I don't want to like burn out on Pokemon before Diamond and Pearl comes out.
That is a very big thing. I was kind of worried about burning out on it because we get a Pokemon game like every year.
Yeah.
The pandemic, though, I think really affected that, and I'm kind of grateful that we didn't get this like last year or something, especially with Arceus coming out in January, I want to say.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous. I think what really helps my excitement for Diamond and Pearl, or Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I never played Diamond and Pearl as a kid, so I'm very excited to give it a try for the first time. And I know some people don't like the art style. I love it. I think the chibi thing works perfectly for conveying what the graphics used to be on like the Game Boy and DS. So
absolutely,
I love
100%. I also have not played Diamond and Pearl, so this is essentially a new Pokemon game for me. And I prefer the top-down Pokemon games over what Sword and Shield did.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like this is going to be my definitive Pokemon game on the Switch. Like if I remember like, ooh, I want to play a Pokemon game, I feel like I'm probably going to go for Diamond over Sword and Shield.
The big one would be for me if they redid Gold and Silver in not the Let's Go thing, but I don't see them doing that. But whatever.
I would love that. Yeah, just do like just basically just release Heart Gold and Soul Silver with the chibi graphics of Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, and I'd be over the moon. It's the best Pokemon game.
Speaking to my heart right now. Yeah, it is the best
Pokemon game.
Okay, my last game I've been playing this week is Fable 2. I haven't played this game since 2011, and I've been in such a Fable kick. I really want to know about this Fable game that Playground is making. Please, tell me more. I want to know about this game. But Fable 2 was my favorite game in the series before all this, and I was like, it's been a long time since I played it. Booted it up, played through it again. I did an evil run this time. The first time I believe I did good, at least. I don't know. I was purely evil this time, and now it kind of ruined it because everyone I come across is deathly afraid of me, so when I want to like talk to a villager or something, they start running away from me, and I have to chase them down. And
That's
like,
hilarious.
and I have to like scare them to make them stop moving. It's annoying. But yeah, Fable 2 is still damn good. I played through it all, completed it again, chose a different ending. Kind of hurt my heart because if you haven't played Fable 2, your dog companion dies right before the end, and you get 3 choices at the end. It's resurrect your dog, get 1,000,000 gold coins, or resurrect everyone who died in the world. So the first time I did resurrect my dog because I love my dog,
And
but
screw everyone else.
But this time I went with money, so I got 1,000,000 coins. Why would I get the villager one? They don't give me anything.
But also, like, they're terrified of you anyway.
Yeah, they're
like,
terrified of me. Hey,
yeah.
hey, you saved my life. You brought me back to life. Ah! Fable 2 is still good. I enjoy it. Real quick, let's show off collectibles, and then we will sign off here because we're a little over time here. I know that you have a beautiful 3DS to show off.
And also, I'm just going to show off my Joy-Con as well, because they're both the Zelda stuff.
Yes, I have the same exact 3DS. The Majora's Mask Special Edition. Mine has a case over it because I'm so careful about it. And I'm not going to lie, I've been very tempted to get back into some 3DS games because there's some games that I missed, and I kind of want to go back. But I'll let you talk about the 3DS since you were showing it off.
No, I'm kind of feeling the same thing, especially why it's at my desk right now. It's like, hey, I kind of want to, maybe replay Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Like, that was a really good game. Maybe I want to do Samus Returns again because Dread was so great. Let me, do Samus Returns again. So there's definitely a few games in there that I want to go back to. Plus, I was an early adopter, so
you're the ambassador. No.
So I can play my Minish Cap on there, my Metroid Fusion. So it's like it's a nice little system.
Want to trade 3DSs?
Absolutely not.
Oh man. Oh. All right. Well, my collectible to show off this week is the Sega Genesis controller.
Oh, nice.
This is the one that Nintendo sold with the Sega Genesis thing, and I'm still... it boggles my mind. I'm holding it, and I still don't believe that this is real. That Nintendo made a Sega Genesis controller. Genesis does what Nintendo don't, and Nintendo did this. What?
This is honestly like teabagging someone in like Halo, where it's like Nintendo already killed Sega.
Yeah,
they already did that, and now they are literally branding Sega controllers.
Yeah, they're like
with Nintendo,
like Sega Genesis with a Nintendo logo on it. What? Will say, absolutely love this box. Like, this is the whole like grid thing that they did on the Genesis back in the day. Oh, so
What's
good.
amazing to me is that box looks better than the N64 controller box.
It does
a lot.
It does.
I couldn't believe how cheap the packaging was for the N64 controller.
Oh.
It was like in a plastic sleeve inside of it, and like it was bad. It was really bad packaging.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm over this. Let's end things.
All right.
Thanks so much for watching or listening to our podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street and subscribe to us on YouTube by searching Pixel Street Videos to find exclusive content from us that you would not find anywhere else. This includes my Mario Party Superstars review and my discussion video on Overwatch 2. Go on there and comment. Let me know how you feel about Overwatch 2 right now. As for upcoming projects, we may finally complete It Takes Two, since Connor is still up in the air and everything, and it's on Game Pass now. Joel is going to download it, and me and him may continue our gameplay of that. Other than that, we'll probably make a Mario Party Superstars Let's Play, hopefully with Holden
Yeah, I'd be totally down to do
I have
that.
to still convince Joel to buy it, and then we need to find one more because I want to get a 4-person game going. That would be so much fun.
I know Matt and Chad have it, so maybe we can
Ooh,
get
okay,
one
we
then.
might go with that. We'll have to hit them up. You can also join our Discord by following the link in the description of this show and become a part of a growing community of nerds. We brought back Pixel Street Pal Party Nights recently, played some Halo Master Chief Collection in anticipation of Halo Infinite. Not sure what the next one will be or when it will be. Maybe when the Among Us update comes up. Maybe we'll play that again, because that was a lot of fun last time. Finally, wherever you are watching or listening to the show, please give us a truthful rating. Whatever it is, positive or negative, it will help us get better for the future. So let us know what you think can be improved and what you want to see going forward. Now, time for the actual signing off. Holden, where can the people find you?
I am at the Twitters, at Holden DePardo. I'm also on a Apple podcast called Networked. We just released our episode about the MacBook Pro. We went in depth with that thing. That was a lot of fun.
You actually bought a MacBook Pro and then opened it up.
I didn't. Michael, the host of Networked, my friend, he got one, and I was just basically picking his brain and asking questions about it and all that stuff.
Okay.
It was like an over an hour long conversation on just the MacBook Pro. Like, we really wanted to. I don't know. I was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that one.
Okay. I will also point out, if people are interested in Metroid Dread, that you were on the Respawn Aimfire review for that recently, right?
That's right. I was on that. Yeah.
So yeah, check that out. As for me, I am John Hansen. You can find me on Twitter at RevXShadows. You can also find my writing on GamePer.com. Call of Duty Vanguard comes out tomorrow. Well, actually today as this goes out. So I will be playing a lot of zombies, putting up a lot of guides about that. You can also read about my Overwatch 2 thoughts and whatever else is coming out for the rest of the month. Again, thanks so much for watching or listening, guys. We will catch you next week. Bye!
Bye.